Hi guys, Matt from the Hockey Players Club in Quest Hockey. Today we're going to work on outside edges. So the outside edges are on the outside of your skates. Let's work on just standing stationary and getting your one skate out onto the outside edge. You kind of want to turn your ankle out, and then once you feel comfortable doing that, let's do it with our second skate as well. In order to do this, we need to be nice and narrow. To work on your balance, you can go from your inside edges to your outside edges with quick steps if you feel comfortable at it. But really working on getting on those outside edges, feeling what that feels like with your ankles out, being able to balance. Another great stationary drill you can do, cross your feet over and balance on your outside edges. So start by just doing it this way and just standing here and feeling comfortable on your outside edges. Once you have that down and your knees are bent, one hand on your stick, work on balancing and planting. Right now I'm the other way, I'm nice and balanced, plant. And the slower you go, the more difficult it is. If you can really balance and plant. Okay, next up we're going to do C cuts, 2 feet C cuts, and we're going to work on transferring our edge from our inside edge to our outside edge. This one's pretty tricky. So in mini mites, you've probably seen us do like inside edges all the way across the ice. Same idea, but when you go from your inside edge, we want you to transfer to your outside edge. I start, my right toe has to point this way, left toe this way, and I keep going. Once I get it, I can get moving a little bit. I start, my right toe has to point this way, left toe this way, and I keep going. Once I get it, I can get moving a little bit. And lean forward a little bit when you're doing this one. Don't be so upright. Lean forward, good knee bend. So we have the lines drawn out, and you're just going to go outside edge, glide, and then at the halfway point, transfer, push. And lean forward a little bit when you're doing this one. Don't be so upright. Lean forward, good knee bend. So we have the lines drawn out, and you're just going to go outside edge, glide, and then at the halfway point, transfer, push. And lean forward a little bit when you're doing this one. Don't be so upright. Lean forward, good knee bend. So we have the lines drawn out, and you're just going to go outside edge, glide, and then at the halfway point, transfer, push.
We would start with your hands up and your hand tucked in, not hands leaning on thighs or drop down forwards. And then just take little steps, just so you get used to going backwards and you know that you can go backwards without falling. That's the big thing. Confidence is everything. And then as you start getting more comfortable, you can start making the stride a little bit bigger, until we get to maximum range of motion, which is all the way out and all the way back in. Key is always work towards maximum range of motion.
This first move I'm going to be showing you is a great foundational move for the dribble and also for turns. And I call them slides.
I love this move because it's so much fun. You're just sliding your feet in opposite directions. You don't have to lift up your heels or your toes or anything. You just bend your knees and you can practice going back and forth. You can put on some fun music and boogie down a little bit and just have fun with it. Once you feel comfortable, you can work on turning. I wanted to slow this down for you so you could get a better idea about what your feet are doing when you are turning and switching from side to side. Slides help with the progression of learning the dribble. Mine is still a work in progress, but I've come a long way. The dribble is a great thing to drill as well, and good for small spaces.
The next move is an excellent move to practice because it helps with stopping and also is one of the best ways to start going backwards and forwards, is called bubbles.
You can start out with small bubbles, and you can do larger bubbles, and you can just go back and forth. There's a lot of different ways that you can practice these, even in a smaller space. With bubbles, you really want to focus on the mind-muscle connection. When going back, you tighten the back leg muscles. When going forwards, you tighten the front leg muscles. This is why I like strength training so much, because it helps build strength in the muscle groups that you need to use. It also can help a lot to bend your knees. When going forward, I personally put pressure towards the outside of my skate, and then when I'm going back, it's almost towards the inside and heel when I bring them back together. It's really important to know where to put your balance and pressure in your skate when doing these.
This next drill helps me a lot with my crazy legs. And it's just basically doing the switch foot.
This is one of those moves that's really good to practice in your shoes or in your socks before you try them on roller skates. Most of the time, if you can't do them without skates on, it's going to be even harder with skates on. This move, if I want to move my toes, I put a little bit more weight in my heels, and if I want to move my heels, I put a little bit more weight in my toes. So it's a very quick transfer of weight. Here's my updated crazy leg. I just wanted you to understand that it helps to get comfortable with stepping. One way to break down this move is just to cross over and then come back. That way you don't have to fully commit if you're not ready. Now there is quite a few different variations of doing a crossover. You know, the standing crossover where you fully cross but you don't really move a lot. You are basically just staying stationary. And this can be pretty difficult because having wheels on your feet, you're naturally going to want to roll and move. You can always hold on to something like the wall or a chair to help you get comfortable with this move at first. Now as you get more comfortable with this move, it becomes less of a crossover and kind of almost a cross in front because the movement will become more fluid, and as you're crossing over, your back leg will be sliding out and ready to then cross in front. The crossover this way is much easier, especially when you're moving a lot quicker going forwards.